I constantly catch myself having full conversations with no one around. My mind drifts off in the middle of important meetings. I actually work better when everything around me is a complete disaster. Most people would call these behaviors absolutely bizarre, but recent psychological research reveals something fascinating. These strange quirks might actually be revealing something extraordinary about how your brain operates. Scientists have discovered that individuals with remarkably high cognitive abilities frequently demonstrate behaviors that appear completely peculiar to everyone around them. Yet these same patterns indicate incredibly sophisticated mental processing happening beneath the surface. If anyone has ever looked at you sideways because of habits like these, what I'm about to explain could finally make everything click into place. Let me start with something you probably do when nobody's watching. You have entire discussions with yourself, speaking your thoughts out loud like there's an invisible audience listening. Groundbreaking research from Bangor University uncovered something remarkable about this behavior. When you vocalize what's happening inside your head, you're definitely not losing your mind. Instead, you're actively structuring complicated concepts, sharpening your logic, and mentally practicing potential solutions before implementing them. Their studies demonstrated that participants who read instructions aloud significantly outperformed those who read silently, maintaining sharper concentration throughout the entire task. A prominent psychologist named Dr. Paloma Mari-Beffer clarified why this technique works so effectively. Auditory commands apparently control our behavior far more powerfully than written instructions ever could. Even Albert Einstein was famously known for quietly repeating sentences to himself while working through complex problems. Professional athletes deliberately talk themselves through high-pressure situations to sharpen their mental focus when it matters most. That ongoing internal dialogue you maintain isn't strange whatsoever. Your brain is simply maximizing every available resource to amplify its cognitive performance to the absolute highest level possible. Now consider how often your attention completely vanishes during conversations or boring tasks. Researchers at Georgia Tech made a stunning discovery about people whose minds wander constantly. These frequent daydreamers actually scored dramatically higher on assessments measuring both intellectual capacity and creative thinking ability. What everyone else interprets as spacing out is actually your brain forming distant connections between unrelated concepts, investigating innovative ideas, and mentally testing out various possibilities. Brain imaging technology revealed that people who daydream regularly possess remarkably efficient neural systems. Psychologist Eric Schumacher offered a fascinating explanation for this phenomenon. People blessed with efficient brains may actually have excessive mental capacity, making it virtually impossible to prevent their thoughts from wandering elsewhere. Your brain completes processing that mundane task in roughly 60 seconds, then immediately disconnects and begins linking ideas on a profoundly deeper level. This isn't distraction or lack of focus. Your mind is genuinely operating at a frequency most people never reach. Look around your workspace right now. Papers scattered everywhere, coffee cups forming small colonies, organized chaos that would horrify neat freaks. But fascinating research shows that cluttered environments can actually supercharge creative thinking. For certain brilliantly intelligent minds, constructing order within surrounding chaos actually helps generate completely original ideas and recognize connections that others walk right past. Your mental energy concentrates on concepts and endless possibilities rather than superficial tidiness. That mess isn't laziness or poor habits. It's tangible evidence that your brain is intensely occupied processing complex ideas, somewhere far beyond physical organization. Maybe you're reading this at 2 in the morning because that's when you truly come alive. Multiple studies have identified compelling connections between elevated intelligence and strong preferences for nocturnal activity patterns. Countless high cognitive ability individuals produce their absolute best creative and analytical work deep into the night, when silence blankets everything and distractions finally evaporate completely. The profound solitude and stillness perfectly suit brains requiring much deeper concentration or thinking patterns that follow unconventional rhythms. If midnight finds you suddenly energized and focused, your brain might simply be hardwired for complexity that demands complete silence to activate fully. Your curiosity probably drives everyone around you slightly crazy with constant questions. People who ask relentless questions consume information voraciously across countless subjects and explore wildly different topics typically demonstrate remarkably high cognitive abilities. This unquenchable thirst for genuine understanding helps construct vast and incredibly flexible mental frameworks. Your passionate love for learning doesn't confine itself to academic subjects alone. It sprawls across philosophy, science, psychology, bizarre facts, and wonderfully obscure topics most people ignore completely. This expansive thinking pattern reflects extraordinary open-mindedness and the rare ability to connect seemingly unrelated ideas in ways others simply cannot comprehend. Watch yourself make even trivial decisions, and you'll notice something interesting. You mentally examine 17 different angles before selecting a restaurant for dinner. You carefully consider every conceivable outcome before responding to a simple text message. What appears like frustrating indecisiveness is actually intricate processing and sophisticated pattern recognition working overtime. Research confirms this thorough processing helps avoid impulsive decisions, evaluate potential risks comprehensively, and detect subtle details that completely escape others. Your brain actively refuses to take shortcuts. It meticulously examines absolutely everything before reaching conclusions. Social situations probably exhaust you in ways others don't understand. Countless intelligent individuals strongly prefer quiet, genuinely meaningful connections over frequent superficial socializing that feels hollow. Mindless small talk drains your energy like nothing else. Crowded parties leave you completely exhausted, yet intimate one-on-one conversations exploring fascinating ideas can energize you for countless hours afterward. Solitude provides your mind the essential space it desperately needs for deep reflection, continuous learning, and authentic creativity. This represents stimulation fundamentally different from meaningless social chatter. This isn't antisocial behavior or social anxiety. Your brain is actively protecting the precious mental resources it requires for genuinely deep thinking. Your taste in art and music probably confuses people too. Individuals with elevated cognitive abilities often naturally gravitate toward abstract or exceptionally complex forms of creative expression. Instrumental compositions without any lyrics, profound philosophical concepts, intricate layered artwork demanding careful analysis. Your brain actively enjoys multi-dimensional nuanced stimulation because it genuinely prefers depth and complexity over anything straightforward or disappointingly superficial. You're not being pretentious or trying to seem sophisticated. Your cognition literally hungers for intellectual challenge. Your sense of humor likely catches people off guard regularly. Research demonstrates that deploying complex humor successfully requires abstract thinking abilities, impressive mental flexibility, and lightning-quick pattern recognition. A sharper, more sophisticated sense of humor, encompassing dark comedy, biting sarcasm, and brilliant wordplay, directly reflects powerful cognitive and social intelligence. Your ability to navigate extreme subtlety in language and social context reveals exactly how rapidly your brain processes multiple competing meanings simultaneously without missing a beat. Here's something you've probably noticed about your work habits. You can tackle intricate problems for countless hours without breaking focus, but you absolutely cannot concentrate on basic repetitive data entry for even 5 minutes. Research shows people with higher intelligence find simple tasks unbearably boring and frequently procrastinate or avoid them entirely, actively preferring challenges that genuinely engage their brain. This manifests as highly selective energy allocation, deliberately saving mental resources for complex problems that truly interest you rather than wasting energy on trivial meaningless chores. Your brain literally powers down completely when insufficiently stimulated. So what does all this actually mean for you? If most of these peculiar habits sound remarkably familiar, your brain almost certainly operates at a significantly higher cognitive level than the average person encounters. You're not weird, hopelessly scattered, or antisocial. You're processing information fundamentally differently, working faster, diving deeper, and thinking more creatively than most people surrounding you daily. Genuine high intelligence isn't exclusively about standardized test scores or impressive academic achievements. It's about how your brain naturally functions when you finally stop forcing it to conform to society's rigid definition of normal behavior. Your self-directed conversations organize racing thoughts efficiently. Your frequent daydreaming generates innovative creative solutions. Your chaotic desk reflects complex ideas, processing happening constantly. Your late-night energy provides the precious quiet your mind desperately craves. Your careful overthinking protects you from costly mistakes. Your cherished solitude actively fuels your creativity. These aren't character flaws or problems needing correction. They're remarkable features of a genuinely advanced cognitive operating system. The world might label you weird or strange, but psychology recognizes you as highly intelligent, and that's genuinely something worth celebrating proudly.